I noticed this very weird dynamic that black men and biracial women have, right? Now, I personally don't really see this happen with black women and biracial men. But again, I mostly see this happening with black men and biracial women. And let me tell you what it is, right? Now, the black community in general, this goes for black men and black women. The black community in general tends to uphold the one drop rule, right? And that means that they will claim that biracials are black. Now, that, like I said, in general, is something that black men and black women do, right? But there's a difference in how black men and black women approach biracial people as dating partners. And let me explain what I observe. I tend to see black men pushing biracial women to only date black men. And I don't really see black women pushing biracial men to only date black women, right? Now, again, like I said, black men and black women both pretend that biracials are black. Biracials are not black. But we speaking on the black community as a whole, yes, black people in general do pretend that biracials are black. But again, it manifests differently when it comes to dating, right? And I would venture so far as to say, I feel like it manifests itself differently because subconsciously, y'all know biracials are not black. So y'all don't actually treat them like black people for real. Now, you might sit here and lie and pretend that they black, right? But when you look at the dating trends, your behaviors don't really line up with that, right? Because this is the thing, right? You'll notice, again, that black women aren't really hounding biracial men to date black women or only date black women or anything like that, right? Because black women in general tend to date black men exclusively, right? But black men in general, they tend to date interracially more, right? And because of that, they do go after biracial women. Because again, I feel like subconsciously, even though the average black person is calling biracials black, they don't actually consider them black. And again, you can see that by how the dating trends play out. If black men and black women really viewed biracials as black, then you would see black women really like going after biracial men in the way that the average black woman exclusively dates black men, right? But you don't really see that because black women, again, are less likely to date interracially. And the opposite is true. If black men really viewed biracial women as black, you wouldn't see them going so hard to make sure that biracial women only date black men. Because realistically, again, black men are more likely to date out, and they don't really care about black women exclusively dating them because the average self-hating black man doesn't care anything about dating black women, right? So I'm saying that to say something, okay? Because Doja Cat is a biracial woman. Whenever you have a super pro-black man, right? One of them men who's like, oh, Grand Rising, Alkabool and Queen, you know what I'm saying? They are never in a relationship with a black woman, ever. Like literally, it's usually a biracial woman who they're calling black, or maybe somebody light, bright, and nearly white. You know what I'm saying? Like, never a dark-skinned, unambiguous black woman, right? And I'm saying all this for a reason. Because, again, Doja Cat just came out with this new video with Jack Harlow kissing all on him, and black men are highly offended by it. And I'm laughing because, realistically, a biracial person, well, in the case of mulattoes, you know, somebody half white and half black, right? They're just as much white as they are black. So it's just as valid for them to date a white person as it is for them to date a black person, right? But y'all will sit here and harass them about only dating black people, even though that makes no sense. I'd be so confused because you all attempt to hold biracials to standards of blackness that you don't even hold yourself to as an actual black person, right? So y'all will sit there and tell biracials, oh, you should only be dating black people. But you're not only dating black people. You chasing after the children of white folks. That's not dating black people, right? But you will tell biracials that they can only date black people. What sense does that make? And you have to, come on now. Let's unpack it for real though, right? You hate yourself. That's why you are constantly chasing after non-black people, right? You can't stand yourself, and your worst nightmare is to be in a relationship with somebody with similar features as yours and have kids who look like you. Y'all remember when Kodak Black, mind you, Kodak Black is Haitian, before y'all try to pretend that this is only a Black American phenomenon or whatever, right? Oh, yeah, I don't want no crispy ass kids. Yeah, that's why I don't date whatever, so and so and so, right? Y'all can't stand yourselves. And that's why you sit there and you chase after everything but Black people. And you'll jump through all these hoops, right? You'll pretend that biracials are Black, so technically you're somehow still in a Black relationship, whatever, right? But we all know that's not true, right? You, yourself, as a Black person, refuse to date somebody with two Black parents, but you're going to tell the child of a white person, somebody with a white parent and a Black parent, they can only date people with two Black parents. This is not rooted in any sort of logic. Like, it's just not. This is my thing. Somebody who is half Black and half something else is just as valid dating their other half as they are dating a Black person. Because again, they're just as Black as they are that other thing, right? So just period off jump, it doesn't make sense to tell biracials that they can only date Black people, right? But then let's take it a step further. Doja Cat, like, her personality, culturally, she gives white, okay? Now, racially, she's biracial, right? But, like, culturally and how she acts like a white person. And that's understandable because she grew up around all white people, right? And this is my thing. Again, just the fact that she's biracial, period, means that in no way is she obligated to only date Black people. So we also need to talk about the fact that you all are sitting here pretending that biracials are Black and trying to hold them to Black standards. But not only are they just not Black, period, but then in addition to that, they have no exposure to Black people. They grew up around all non-Black people, so and so and so. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least like when you're Black, right? Like full Black, actually Black, and your daddy abandoned you, you still gonna be culturally Black because your mama Black. You still grew up, for example, in Detroit around all Black people, so and so and so, right? But when you're biracial and your Black parent abandons you, then like, come on, you're going to end up culturally something else. You're not going to identify with Black people at all. So again, why are you all constantly harassing these biracial women to only date Black men when they don't have anything in common with Black people? Not only are they just not Black, period, not only is she biracial, not Black, but her mama is non-Black. And again, like, mothers instill most of the culture. You're going to identify more heavily with your mother than your father, period, even if your father is in your life, right? So it's like, she's not Black, but y'all are forcing Blackness onto her, and it's not fitting well at all, right? And I'm saying all this to say, Black men are constantly harassing biracial women into only dating them and so and so and so and yada, yada, yada. Like, you don't even want yourself. You're Black and you don't even want to date Black people. Can you really be mad that a non-Black person doesn't want to date Black people? Like, come on, let's be for real, right? And then on top of that, it's like, not only are they not Black racially, but they have nothing in common with you culturally either. So they extra don't want your ass. Like,